I will officially begin. Good afternoon, everybody. So I just wanted to kind of take a little bit of time today to lay out a review of kind of what's going on. There's my notes. What's going on now and pretty much up until the holiday break. We have school all of this week online, and I believe up until next Wednesday, the 23rd. But up to this point now, I am not giving out, I'm really not giving out any new projects. So, maybe something here or there, but if it is, it's going to be something relatively small. I really think up to this point, the only thing I'm going to be giving out is a quiz on the vocabulary that I'm going to cover a little bit. But, just to go down the list of what's due. And like I said, I'm going to give you a lot of time to get it done. And for those of you that may have not done some things for the first marking period, I actually went in, and I'm sure you can see it, that I actually went in and unlocked the first marking period folder. So can you all see that? Like if you went in today, was it back? It should be under the purple marking period.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So please, please realize, so what I did was I went in and I extended, Linda just joined us. How you doing, Linda? I'll kind of repeat this one more time. But so what I did was, look, I got it, with people with the technology trying to get hooked up, things like that. And now that some of you have laptops, actually, I think most of you here all got one at this point. But what I want to do is just kind of give you the opportunity to get as much work done as you can. So if there was any work that you did not do, I'll actually send this in email form today. But if there's any work that you didn't do, how you doing, Alex? If there's any work that you didn't do the first marking period, I will give you an opportunity to do it, and that grade will go towards this marking period. So I can't go back and open up marking period 1 again. But what I can do is give you credit, to do it now. And honestly too, you're trying to get as much stuff in your portfolio as you can. So anyway, you'll see marking period 1 folder. You can go in and work on some of those projects or things that you didn't necessarily get done yet. But up to this point, we had the floor plan, blueprint design that some of you are still working on. There's that written proposal. There's the exploratory for texture, and now I did one called Forms of Light. So there's quite a few things going on, but I want to review some stuff here right now, of some stuff that was submitted, and that was some of the projects like the logo. Some people forgot about the logo design. Maybe I didn't bring that up enough, but I will. I'll do it today, but so let me just try and share my screen here. Somebody else is jumping in real quick. Hold on. Okay. All right. So now we have everybody in here at this point. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick. Don't forget. I would hope some of you, if you have any questions, just put them in the screen. Okay. Okay. So I just want to go over a couple of things with you real quick. I'm going to bring my chat up again real quick. All right, get all my screens put together. So I just want to go back to the video and sound, but as I mentioned before, please remember that, your projects are in here, workspace design, the lectures, the pre-production for this video project that we're working on. So everything is in here, okay? Just keep that in mind. Actually, it's this one, my bad. That's for level 2. But you'll see, here's all the projects, what needs to get done. And for those of you, some of you actually asked me a couple of quick questions. Hold on, I got another person in the waiting room. Okay. All right, now it looks like we got everybody in here. So some of you would ask me, I can't get to Power School, I can't get to Schoology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Please don't forget that you can go into the class info page. And a lot of stuff of what you need is in here. Connecting to Zoom, connecting to Power School, connect to Schoology. So, please, when you get a chance, just pop into there. Pretty much has everything you need. If there's anything in there that you think we need, let me know. I'll see what I could do. But that's where all the projects live, the exploratories. Once again, all of your exploratories are in here. And we're actually going to start doing some newer type of exploratories because after the holiday break, we're going to start working in Photoshop. And you're going to create some stuff other than just photos, even though you're going to be working in Photoshop. But you'll see what I mean once we get that started. We're going to actually do more with photos instead of just taking them and making collages with them. I'm going to actually have you do special effects and do some things like that, which is pretty cool. I'm a big Photoshop person from being a photographer. So that's definitely something that I like to use, and it's actually pretty fun to work with. The next thing would be, so that's what you have right there. You go down to the bottom here. The newest project is Forms of Light. Okay. I wanted to show you something, and did everybody get my email? I probably sent it out about an hour or two ago about comments in Schoology. Just head nods will do. Okay. This is kind of a big deal. What I started running into, I actually spent 3 hours of my morning here doing grades because I had like 50 some submissions, which is awesome. It shows me that people are doing work. Some of you might want to go into Schoology or PowerSchool, check your grades to see what the updated, if you submitted stuff, you'll see what your updated grades are. But one of the issues that I kind of was running into, so if I really need everybody to check these comments. This is how I grade you. This is how I give you feedback. So I'm actually looking at your project and I can say, oh, let's do this, let's change that. But let me tell you some of the problems I've been running into. Some of you have actually been submitting the wrong projects to the wrong submission. Like some of you are putting the written proposal in the floor plan. Some of you are putting the texture assignment into the Forms of Light assignment. Some of you are putting your logo into your floor plan. So please make sure you're putting stuff in the right spot. That's a really easy way, unfortunately, to get a 0. So I put it in there. You'll always see here, if you look at the screen now, I put in see comments. So if you see me check see comments and put show to student, that means I got something I got to tell you. So please make sure you look over here. Now, here is a project. This is now, for example, this is Wilson's iMovie project that he started working on. And I'm just going to show this to you real quick. I'm going to kind of skip through it a little bit. So you can see he's got decent music. It's off to a decent start. But as I skim through it, just jumping around. I mean, he's got transitions, he's got music. Okay. So that being said, who can tell me what the issue is? What do you think I talked to him about? Please don't read the comments I put in.
I'm looking at it. It's mostly just normal slides and it's not, and it doesn't have anything, and he doesn't have any pictures related to him.
Yeah, good job, Steve. So unfortunately, and I think everybody remembers, I covered it last week and I put it in my emails. If you're gonna, well, if anybody knows the old rule, if you're gonna hand something in early, it better be good. This project's not even due for at least another week. So, the fact that he did it and handed it in early and it's not that good, it's an issue. So I gave him a lower grade, but I'm going to give him an opportunity to revise it and resubmit. You can see over here, he talked about how he posted it. This is an easy way. You just post it right into right into Schoology, hitting the create button. You just, and you can just upload it. But I told him, I said, if you want more credit and you have plenty of time, you need to add pictures. All you have is text. Show me pictures of your family. Show me the pictures of where you've been. Show me the pictures of the food you like. And you can even just use Google. Maybe if you don't have family pictures, that's fine. But if you know, I'm not telling you to go take a picture of what you had for dinner yesterday, but just go into Google and show me what you have. Okay. But like I said before, if you're going to do, you know, he handed this stuff in last Wednesday. And all he really did was copy and paste his original presentation, which I told him the first time in the presentation, you should put pictures in it because nobody wants to sit there and read text the whole entire time. Okay. But this is just the important thing, and I'm trying to get across to you is to please make sure, like I said, when you go in Schoology, please check your comments. I don't have a schedule of when I do grades. I try to do them every Friday at 12:30 till 3 o'clock. But today I had some time and I got in and got them done. Okay. So please make sure you're checking those comments. That's a big deal. Also, too, now let me show you, you know, of course, Deshauna got her stuff done. You got to slow down, kid. I'm like running out of projects to give people. But let me just show you what Deshauna did. It's a nice job. She actually changed some things up. And she got some nice transitions. The titles are good. Colors look good. I loves me pizza. Pancakes, can't lose pancakes, you know. But there's some cool stuff in here. Saw that, didn't see that. All right, cool. So what do we think, everybody? Somebody chime in, please. Anybody? Don't make me call on.
So what I like about it is that the transitions she decided why not show her favorite foods by having a little text screen that says favorite foods.
Yeah. So pretty cool. What about you, Jamil? What do you think?
I like how she kept everything like consistent and simple, so like the person who was viewing it wouldn't get bored. It just cut straight to the chase, so wasn't like any dull moments or anything.
Cool. Thanks, man. Good feedback. So now that we just saw that, we only saw it once. Did anybody see anything that jumped out that maybe you could offer her as advice that she could improve upon? I only have a couple small things. Go ahead, Steve.
Now I realized there were a lot of transitions that I think she used too much, a little too much.
Okay. And that's something we covered. You really don't want to deviate more than just a couple. Um, you know, maybe two, maybe three at most. But yeah, that's a good thing to look for. The only thing really, Deshauna, that I would tell you to change is I would like for you to try and find a couple different images to replace. And then your timing is a little bit quick. Like this at the end, I went to go read it. And like from here, so to me, I mean, I almost got to the end. You know, maybe stretch it another second or two. I'm old, I can't read so fast. But you know, maybe just a little bit on that, and then you know, check your timing on some of them. It almost seems like like it jumps just a little bit too quick. But there's something turned on in iMovie where the images zoom in and out. You can see them move. I think that's called I think it's on your in iMovie. I think it's called the Ken Burns effect. I have to look for it, but you can turn that off so the slides stay stationary, because when they zoom in and out, the text gets cut off a little bit. So you could, you could kind of tweak that a little bit. But the only other thing that I saw, and like I said, this picture and more so this one, when you go full screen, you can see how pixelated it is. So make sure when you go on Google, make sure you search for big images. Okay. So let me kind of show you. Let me pop out of this. Okay. I'm just going to jump over. So for example, let's just say woman sitting at desk. So I'm just going to do a quick Google search right now, and I go to images. And I'm not sure, I think I did cover this before. But if you take a look here, when you go and search for images, like, oh yeah, that one's great. I like, let's say we like this girl here. Now the image size is decent, but if you want to make sure you have the best possible image quality, you want to go under tools, and then you can go to size. Okay, that's a big, big deal. This is a really important thing for everybody to kind of remember going forward. Did anybody not know you could search by images this way by size? Because it's kind of a
No,
little known fact.
I usually do like most videos, like how the videos cut. I just search up 1280 by 720, and then
Okay,
get like 80 images off of there.
gotcha. Cool, thank you. So it is important because you know what's going to happen down the road and in the future for future projects. I'm going to ask you to Google search some images and some things like that. Um, so I would definitely, try and use the large. Now, when you search for an image, I would automatically pick large, because the problem is there's definitely not as many nice large images out there. So you will have your results narrowed a bit, but at least you're going to have those good results. So here's the one we like. Now there's two ways to try and find your image the best, the proper way. You can click and follow it and see where it takes you. But the images is here. So you can't just save. Sometimes you can right click and do save as and see how that image comes up. But the problem is if it has this HTML on the end, it's not an actual image. Okay, it's a web page. So that's not going to work for you. So what you can do is you can just click on this image here, you right click, and you just do save image as. And I talked about this last week, and hopefully everybody please start doing this. Please pay attention to what I'm about to show you. It's kind of a big deal. I mentioned this before, but I want everybody to try and get into a system of saving your work. And I'm going to actually, I'm actually going to create a little tutorial on how I want your stuff to be set up. And it's better that you do it now and you do it early on. Maybe some of you already currently do it with your regular schoolwork, but you really need to have a good file structure, because when you go work in industry, you're going to be sharing with people, and you're going to, sharing with your coworkers. Eventually, you'll put your finished work maybe on a drive or a shared network to be able to give to your client. So you want this stuff to look clean and look nice and easy to kind of navigate. So, for a project like this, you would just go to your desktop, you would go new folder, and this is for your slideshow. So like I said before, I would call this, my initials underscore. This is section 4 in the second marking period. And then you could just call it, iMovie. Okay, and that's the particular folder for this particular assignment. And why is that a big deal? Because you're going to end up saving pictures, video, sound, logos, clip art, all to one project. Well, you want to keep it all in one place. You may actually put a Word doc in there and write a script for it, or write new things to put into your slideshow. So you want everything to live inside this folder, so it's easy to get to. It's not, you don't lose everything. I could show you my downloads folder right now, and it would make your head spin. I have so much stuff in there. So you want to be able to keep your stuff organized and easy to get to. Sometimes you might ask me to log into your computer and show you how to do something, and for me to go in and access the file might be a real pain in the butt, just because I can't find it. You know what I mean? So please make sure you're trying to get your stuff set up the proper way. I'll show you here. I was working on this last week. Here's my folder. You know, if I go in there, you can actually see all the stuff that I did. I actually made a folder when I exported out all my slides for the project. And then you can go in here and see what it is. But this is nice because everything is saved in one spot. And it's just a lot easier to get to. So please make sure you're kind of following along, wrong window, that you're kind of following along and saving your stuff the right way. Because it's easy to be like, oh, I'll do it next time, I'll do it next time. And then you have like 50 different things in there. So please make sure that you're doing that, okay? If anybody has questions, put them in the chat box, pretty please. Now, the last thing I'm gonna cover with you is for those of you that haven't done your logos, or some of you that did do your logos. I just wanted to go over it again really, really quickly. Some of you did a really nice job with your logos, but I kind of feel the need to kind of review just a little bit because some of you kind of nailed it and some of you kind of didn't. And that's fine. This is, like I said, this is all about a learning process. You know, we're all trying to figure out, you know, how to do these things for the first time. So once again, like I said, you can see here's market period 1. It's open all opened up again. Actually, question from Deshauna. Yes, you can go back in. If I just kind of gave her some feedback on her video and she asked if she could go back in and edit it. Yes, you can open the video that you exported, but if you go into iMovie itself, it saves it as a project. So you can add more pictures. You can, you know, revise your titles and do whatever you want. But once you share that file and export it out, it's done. You can't really do anything with it.
So if I go in iMovie and edit it, I have to resubmit it?
Yeah, and then you just go and share it again and export it out as a file. That's kind of what you do every time you do a video or music, or, you know, if you do a musical track, you have to go back into those individual programs, edit it, and then share it back out again as a video or as a sound clip. It's kind of a pain in the butt, I won't lie. When I do my weekly parent videos or I do my live sessions, I got to go and edit them. And I may realize I forgot something, and then I have to go all over again. And sometimes my classes are like 45 minutes. It takes like 20 minutes for it to render. Then I got to go get a cup of coffee, come back, see if it's done. So you always, you know, but there's nothing wrong. These are short little videos, so it shouldn't take you a lot of time to do it. But like I said, you'll see here, you go back into market period 1, I unlocked all those projects. So you can go back in and do them. But let's jump back here to market period 2. Okay, design your workspace. And I had asked everybody to create a logo for their business. So I'm just going to go through these randomly. But you can see, you know, there's some decent logo. Deshauna's is pretty cool. She obviously wants to go into video or photo. Jamil's, I actually just texted him. Yours came out really nice, man. How did you do that? Did you do that in Google Drawings, or is this something you already have?
I did that in Photoshop.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Really nice job, man. It's a really cool. I like the color. We'll talk a little bit more about the shape of it and stuff. But there's some good ones in here. And eventually, like I said, I'm going to spend some time posting each other's work to get some good feedback on it. Now, Emmanuel did this one. And it's, you know, I can't tell whether or not if it's a cool logo because there's nothing there telling me what it is. It almost kind of looks like a road sign, you know what I mean? Now, if it had a name under it, or, you know, and I had asked everybody to do this with the logo, to say, make sure that the logo somehow represents what the product is or the business you're trying to sell. So, you know, maybe this is an easy thing that he could clarify for me. But like I said, I'm going to show you a couple, you know, quick examples of some things that you're doing. Here's a really good example here. Javon, you know, he's new to the program, and he did the, you know, JJ production. And then he has this here, you know, the thing you crack together when you're filming a movie. So my feedback, and I put it over here, and I said he's off to a good start. But I would actually try and take the JJ production and put it right in here instead. Don't you think that would probably look better, right? It's a nice square logo. And then just doing something as simple as taking this name and popping it in here, you know, it makes a really big difference, okay? makes a lot more sense that way. So let me just show you here, and I'll put this link in when I send out the live session for today. But just this is a great way to kind of give you an idea when you're working on your logos here. You know, there's many different types of logo designs, and this kind of covers it a little bit. Okay, there's actually, you know, a lot of basic different types. There's monogram, which is like a letter mark, and I'll show you examples of what these mean. You know, fonts inside contoured words, pictorials, abstract logo, mascots. You know, every sports team has a mascot, so it's considered a mascot logo. So, and emblems. So let me scroll down and give you some examples. These are pretty cool. So this gives you different types of logo designs. You have monogram, and then you have the letter form where the letter actually creates something. You know, McDonald's is the golden arches. It's 2 gold arches and it makes an M. So it kind of gives you an idea. Same thing, word mark logo. There you go. Pictorials. So instead of having a name, it has a picture of what you know, Twitter. That's their logo. Mascots. You know, the Quaker Oats guy. Everybody loves the Pillsbury Doughboy. I want to poke him right in his stomach right now. You know, abstract logo. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily, you know, Tide doesn't have anything to do. You know, you don't see soap in there. You know, you don't know it's detergent, but the colors work well, and you know it's a bright, colorful box. So when you go shopping, you know, for dish soap or laundry soap, it kind of stands out. So there's reasons why things are done the way they're done. Same thing here, combinations of a symbol and words. You know, emblem, sports teams, things like that. You know, and then you have these things called dynamic logos and slime logos. Okay, so there's some really good examples in here. It kind of really breaks it down. Most of these, many of you should know. But when you're doing your logo, you know, really try and kind of figure it out. What is it that you're trying to sell? You know, what is your brand? You know, and how can you take some of these ideas here, you know, maybe implement them into your own. It's not like you're stealing, you're taking inspiration from what you're trying to do here. Okay. So, you know, just go in, take a look at some of these. But I would like for you to work on your logos. I'm going to give you time over, like I said, I'm going to give you time over the break to get all this stuff done. So please make sure you're doing that. And then last but not least, I wanted to go in and talk about the vocabulary. I mentioned this before you know, that we're going to probably do a quiz at the end before the break. And I'll give you time over the break to work on it too. But there's a lot of vocabulary involved in this particular assignment. But I would honestly say this vocabulary covers over to the whole next couple of years. But we do cover it every year just to kind of give you, you know, we just keep repeating it to help you. We covered this last week, you know, what the different video resolutions mean. You know, when you have a monitor that's 1080p or a 4K television, or, you know, what format does YouTube go into. So it'll tell you what these formats are. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and read every single one to you, but it gives you a really good idea on the resolutions that you use in industry. Also too, and I said I was going to do it today, and I'm going to do it. I'm actually writing it down as we speak. I'm going to reorganize the vocabulary so it makes a little bit more sense. Because some of this stuff you'd be pretty familiar with, but as I said, there's a lot of stuff in here. But I'm going to break it down like into formats and things like that. So when we meet back tomorrow, I'm going to go back in there and do a little bit of a better job to make it have more sense and make it look better for you. Okay. So that's kind of all I have right now. Please don't leave yet. Does anybody have their project, their iMovie project that maybe they'd like to share or get some, you know, ask to get some feedback on? Awesome.
Is it all right if it's incomplete?
Oh, absolutely. It's not supposed to be done. You can show it to me in iMovie. So I just had my screen share turned on. So if you can pop in there, please feel free and take a look. What's up?
I'm just saying that I'm willing.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So go ahead. See if you can share your screen real quick. There you go. All right, cool. Can everybody see Steve's screen? Nice. Okay. Did your screen go black or? Oh, okay, there you go. Sometimes it takes a second for it to kick over. All right, go ahead and hit play. Cool. Nice. So he's got his, his nice title slides going on, his intro. There's his transition. Cool. So I assume that's the instrument you play in band, right? Oh, your mic's on, bud, or your mic's turned off, bud. There you go.
So my project is not yet ready. I'm only trying to figure out images and other stuff that could fit with what I got. My trombone is just figuring out what is just to show you what some of my hobbies and all that.
No, that's great, man. I think, you know what? I like the intro that you did, the transition you had in there. So yeah, you're off to a good start. If you can remember what I just showed today, in terms of going into Google and making sure you click on tools and large, go for those big images. So when you do put them in, they'll look real nice. Sometimes, you guys might be working on your monitor and it's this big and your video is this big and it looks great. But when you go full screen, it gets a little, pixelate. We call it pixelated. It's all garbly. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Thank you, Steve. I think it looks pretty good for the beginning. And if you need help with it as you go on, just let me know. Anybody else? Please? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, no? Y'all better start working on it. I'll tell you right now. Let me shake my finger at you. Please make sure you're working on these. This is a big deal. Okay? This is a great week to, start showing me what you have instead of you putting up the video, posting it, me typing a bunch of comments, you having to fix it. This is way easier to just share it. You don't have to be embarrassed about showing your work. We're an art class. And when we're actually back in the program, I have an 80-inch monitor. We show everybody's work up on the screen and we do critiques. Okay. Sometimes we get popcorn. We enjoy it. We spend that whole class period looking at all the work that everybody's accomplished. So, you got to get over that. If you're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm a little bit shy about it. You got to be able to present your work in front of people, especially in this industry. You're going to go into a boardroom and or an office or anywhere, and you're going to talk to 5, 10, sometimes 50 people. When I go out for my school and present, I went out to Norristown 2 years ago and presented to 400 kids. It's scary, and it's not something that I was just able to do. I had to train myself to be able to go out to do it. So but this is definitely something we're going to keep doing. So please, hopefully one or you, two of you can show me where you're at. I don't even care if it's a beginning and your title, maybe you can just say to me, hey, what do you think the type? Do you think the type looks good? Do you think my colors look good? These are my transitions. What do you think of that? So please, 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 please share with me. I would love to see the work that you're all doing. Okay. That's what I have for today. I'm actually taking attendance on here. So I'm going to save this stuff, your attendance, and actually, just keep track of who's on and who's not. I especially want people with, their laptops to be on here on a fairly regular basis, but I'm going to go in and fix the vocabulary. So please make sure you take a look at that. I'm going to cover it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll start seeing some people's iMovie stuff. Okay.